Hello, I'm Spencer, and this is another Lighten Up Initiative Kids Review. Going to be reviewing the game Bermuda Pirates from Foxmind, and we'll be reviewing it myself, and also get some input from my 4- and 7-year-old daughters. In Bermuda Pirates, you are, well, pirates sailing around an island trying to pick up jewels, get the treasure, take it back to your home base, and you want to try to be the one that collects all the treasure first. And this game can be played 2 to 4 players, and the age range on the box says 7 and up. So we'll see here in a minute if that's appropriate or not. But on their turn, a player will take their boat. You can see the home base, their home island is on the corners of the board. And a player is trying to get to the island, pick up a jewel, and bring it back. And they need to do that 4 times with the 4 different colored jewels. The first player that's able to get all 4 jewels back to their island wins the game. Of course, everybody will have one more turn after that to give it a try, but ultimately, whoever does it first usually is the winner. You have to avoid obstacles on the board, these guys right here, and there are some hidden obstacles that are actually quite fascinating. So the way you move your boat is you have to push it along with your finger, but there are some hidden, that's the only way you can move it. You can't move it like this, you can't twist it like that, you've got to just push it. And, oh! And what just happened? I just hit a whirlpool. That's right, there are magnets, the boats are magnetic, and there are pieces of metal hidden underneath the board that whenever the boat hits it, it attracts the boat and it flips like that. Now anytime you run into one of these obstacles over here or you get flipped over like that, you have to come back to the start. What you're trying to do is navigate the waters, get over to the middle island there without hitting those whirlpools. Luckily, you have these buoys, so every time that happens, you can take a buoy and put it on top of that spot so you know to avoid that next time. But you have a minimum, or you have a maximum of 3 buoys, so I know there was that one here. Let's try to go this way. Oh, and there's one there. All right, so now that I know that, let's see if I can make it. Go through here, get over here. All right, I've made it. So once you get to the center island, you get to take one of the jewels. And it's up to you. You can continue sailing around to try to pick up the other ones in one turn, or you can sail back and save that one. It's kind of a push your luck kind of thing. I want to be safe, so I'm going to turn around and come back this way and bank that. Then I would go around and get all the other ones. Of course, the magnets, the metal parts are different in each segment, and I'll show you here in a minute how the board is put together to show you that it can be different every single time you play, so you won't memorize the spots that have the metal. But let's see what happens. So let's say I had 2 gems in my ship, and I was sailing along. Oh! I had a whirlpool, and those gems went flying. So that's an exciting part of the game when that happens. But here, let me show you real quick what the board looks like underneath. So you take this off. The flags are what hold it in place. And you can see that there are 4 pieces of board that have the magnets or the pieces of metal in them. So you can twist them around, put them in different spots, and mix them and match them, and then put it back together. And so every time you play, it's going to be different. I won't finish that because that would take too much time. But that's basically it, how you play. It's pretty simple, pretty easy to understand. The trick is being able to remember where all those spots are. All right, now I want to send it over to my daughters, Emma and Jane, to get their thoughts.
My name is Emma, and I am 7 years old.
My name is Jane, and I am 4 years old.
And today we're going to be talking about Bermuda Pirates.
Bermuda Pirates is a game when you are pirates.
To play Bermuda Pirates, well, you have a little boat, and you're trying to make it across to the little island without getting in the whirlpools. If you do, you have to put a buoy there, and then go back to your island, and then let the next player go.
You have to have a boat, and if you get to a whirlpool, then the bottom of your boat flips up, then that means you're in a whirlpool, and you have to put a buoy there. But the one who gets all the colored gems wins.
My favorite part is when you get a gem and you're trying to go back, you actually get in a whirlpool and your gem goes flying onto the board.
Whenever you get in a whirlpool and the bottom of your ship flips up, then then you put a buoy there. That's my favorite part.
What are some other things you like about the game?
I don't know.
Jane,
When you hit a whirlpool and you're so close to getting the island, you have to start all over again. If my friends were over at my house, so I brought it to school, I would ask them 100 times to play with me.
Jane, would you ask your friends to play it with you?
Yeah, 'cause it's a really, really good game and fun game.
All right, now it's my turn. So Bermuda Pirates, I think, is a lot of fun. I think that it's going to be more fun for the older crowd. Now, Jane, she gets it. She understands how to play, but she gets frustrated every time the ship gets tipped over. Even though she'll put her buoys down, sometimes she just has bad luck and will run into them. So she gets frustrated when she can't make progress, especially when everybody else is making progress. And again, she's 4, so this game is for 7 and up. So, I mean, she's doing pretty good just to know how to play. But as far as the way she reacts when people are getting ahead of her and she is not, she's pretty frustrated. And there are many times where she'll just leave. And I don't blame her. Well, I do, because we're trying to teach her not to do that to finish the game. But that's that. Emma, the 7-year-old, she does pretty well. Actually, she wins quite often. And she does a really good job of remembering where everything is with the buoys. Sometimes what will happen is you'll run out of buoys, and so you'll have to move one so that you can mark a new place. And then she'll remember where the old one was. And there are some markings on the board like whales and birds that you can use to remember, okay, there was a spot over here by this whale. I want to try to avoid that. And the strategy is neat. You can take your time, do one at a time, or you can press your luck and go around and try to get more than one. The trick with that is, sometimes when you play, you can go all the way around the island without hitting a magnet or hitting a piece of metal. But that's just dependent on the setup of the board. Sometimes that won't happen. Sometimes there will be metal right beside the island. So if you try to go all the way around, you'll fling those jewels. So it's all about risk-taking and memory. Those are the two big things of the game, is risk-taking and memory. Where are those metal spots? Where are those whirlpools that you want to avoid? Now, I love I love the mechanism of the flinging ships. It's really fun. It's fun to see the pieces go flying. For me, it's scary. I'll be going along and all of a sudden, pew! It startles me. So that's a fun aspect of it, though. We play it as a family of 4. It's great. Sometimes, though, it does drag a little bit, just dependent on how often you come across those whirlpools. Because again, every time you hit one of those, you got to go all the way back. So you may be real close. You may have put 2 in your boat, and if you got to the shore, you'll win. But again, if you hit one of those magnets, it goes flying and you got to start all over. Now, I do like that once a magnet is flying, and let's say that it's out in the middle of the ocean, you can drive up and pick it up if you touch it. So if someone has lost their jewel at sea, another player can come along and pick that up as long as they touch it. So it might be easier for them. The restriction is you cannot pick one up that you already have. If you already have a green, you can't pick up a green. But that's helpful so that you don't always have to go up to the island to get a gem. For time to play, the box says 20 minutes. Again, that's dependent on how quickly everyone is able to navigate the waters. Probably for us, it was around 30 minutes. But it doesn't feel long. There are moments where it does, especially for those that aren't able to keep up with everybody else. It might seem like for them it's taking a while just because they're wanting to get things going and get their gems. But as far as total time to play, it feels just about right for the game. I think families will really enjoy this. Again, the age range 7 and up is just about right. Any younger than that, you might have issues of patience and frustration. But I think, like, my wife and I enjoy it. The trick of remembering where all the whirlpools all are, and the fun of pushing the boat around. So you'll probably run into a gap there, maybe around teenager and older, until you get to the point where you're able to erase from your mind that it's a kid's game and enjoy it for what it is. That age range might not enjoy it, but definitely maybe like to 7 to to 13 or 14 maybe will really enjoy it. And then of course, just a family in general together will enjoy it. It definitely tests your memory. I like that it's not a traditional memory match game. So this is a different perspective on memory. And pushing your luck, it's such a difficult choice whether to keep going or take your time and bring it back to the island. So lots of neat decisions there. Lots of, using your mind to remember where things are. You're pretty active in the game, on your turn. Nothing is obvious. You really got to make those decisions about what's best for you and how to most efficiently and accurately get those gems back to your island. Overall, I say I can recommend Bermuda Pirates to the age range that I mentioned and families. I think it's a lot of fun. I think a lot of families will enjoy it, especially just I wouldn't call it a gimmick, but just the way that those boats work is a lot of fun to see them hitting the whirlpools. Everyone gets excited when that happens, and sometimes frustrated, but mostly they have a good time with it. So if you like pirates, you like memory, and you like push your luck games, I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. I want to thank you so much for watching this review. There are lots of other kids reviews here on this channel, so just make sure to check those out. Look for the kids playlist on this YouTube channel, the Lighten Up Initiative, or you can just browse through the channel and look for other kinds of videos that I do, like other reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, comedy sketches. They're all there. Until next time, don't take the board game hobby too seriously. Just lighten up.